We realized that if we wanted to go to Athens, the best time to do it was going to be in January.
And Judy convinced me that it's going to be cooler then, so you won't burn like bacon.
True.
Welcome back to Finding Gina Marie, where we share our experiences as full-time travelers and making connections along the way.
If you're new here, I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin.
Greece has always been on our bucket list of places to travel to. And when we were deciding where we wanted to go as full-time travelers, we knew that Athens was going to be one of the top destinations for us. But when we looked at prices, that was another story. Fortunately, when we were trying to decide where to go, it was October of 2022, and the shoulder season, the off season, was right around the corner. Obviously, it wasn't going to be beach season in Greece, so we restricted our travels to Athens instead of exploring all of the other islands and kind of getting a taste of beach life, which is not really typically fun in January.
It's never fun for me. I'm not the beach person. This one is. We worked really hard when we were back in the U.S. visiting family to get someplace by New Year's Eve. And that was going to be Greece because we wanted to see what Athens was like on that day. And we weren't disappointed. It was an experience right from getting on the plane. They handed us pomegranates. I mean, when you walk on a plane, you're kind of full-handed. You've got your luggage, your carry-ons, and then here's a big fruit in your hand too. So that was experience number one.
Right. It was actually quite cool. So the pomegranate is one of the symbols that is used in Greece for New Year's Day, where you smash the pomegranate outside of your front door, and all of the pomegranate seeds represent how much good fortune you're going to have in the year ahead. Now, we definitely did not want to smash a pomegranate everywhere outside.
This is an Airbnb. We don't own this place. You know, what kind of mess is pomegranate going to make? So you were smart.
Right. I smashed it inside the little baggie. So it didn't splatter everywhere, but it was still the same energy and good luck, I believe.
It was a tidy celebration. My kind of celebration.
The Airbnb that we booked was very near to the Monostraki Square, and when we pulled in out of the subway, there was so much excitement, and we didn't know if there was like some grand party for our arrival or something. There were balloon men, and there was Mickey and Minnie greeting people. There were people dancing.
All the singing and celebration. You know, it took us a second to think, oh, well, maybe this is because of New Year's Eve. This might not just be an everyday occurrence in Athens.
Or our arrival.
Our arrival, yeah. I mean, maybe me. I mean, people are always excited to see me in a place.
Sure. So even though we had come off of 2 really hectic weeks of Christmas, we arrived and we were tired, but we thought, here we are in this great city that we specifically chose to arrive in time to celebrate New Year's Eve. And we aren't typically people in our normal lives that would go out and celebrate for New Year's.
It's been a long time since we've gone to a public place for New Year's Eve.
But in Greece, of course, you have to do that.
Well, especially since we're watching a New Year's Eve celebration on the TV, Greek television, and it was a square very close to it. It's like, well, that's right by us. We can't sit here and watch it on TV when it's a 10-minute walk away. So we got off the couch and we walked down to Kolokotrani Square.
There was a ton of people. It was a great celebration.
Literally wall-to-wall people. I mean, we had to squeeze through the crowds.
But it was worth it. There was a live DJ. There was Christmas everywhere. It was exactly what we were hoping for it to be. Actually, probably more.
Probably more, because with the bands and the actual announcer counting down to New Year's, I don't know if we've ever been in such a public place on New Year's Eve with such live activity. This was just such a perfect moment for us. We're so glad we made it here in time.
Sure, although we did celebrate in London, which was pretty cool too.
Yeah, but it wasn't in front of the actual TV broadcast of what's happening.
You're right, yes. I forgot about that part of it.
We were miles away from what was happening.
One of my favorite parts of the winter season is to be able to get roasted chestnuts. And that is something that all of the street vendors have been carrying and just is really just that essence of Christmas.
And they had roasted corn with them too, usually. The opening of the chestnut. It's a ritual. Yeah? I keep trying to like chestnuts. I don't like chestnuts.
They're very good.
She likes them. That's all that matters. So this entrance into the city where we were mobbed by crowds waiting to see us, and then we went to a New Year's Eve celebration where there's so many people. We thought, well, maybe it's not such an off-season after all.
We went on an e-bike tour and we got to view a bunch of places in a short amount of time. It was very apparent that crowds were not to the usual measure that they would be in high season. We were by the Hexadecagon Arch. We could get pictures, and the guide had mentioned that it is normally impossible to get close enough to the arch, or you have to wait quite a while to be able to get your picture taken, and we had to wait no time at all.
Yeah, in fact, there was nobody in our way when we were biking through the streets. They were just mildly crowded. It was wonderful to actually get around so much. Part of that tour was getting us to the Panathinaike Stadium where the marathon ends.
Since 1896, it's actually also the site of the modern Olympics.
And so we got there and there was nobody there. Like, you could walk right up to the fence line, take pictures, no problem at all. If we wanted to go in, I mean, we didn't have time on this tour because the bikes were leaving, but we could have bought tickets, walked in there, spent as much time as we wanted to, kind of had the whole place to ourselves.
There have been no lines really anywhere. We've gone to the ancient Agora and the Roman Agora, and there have been no lines.
I toured the Acropolis. The guide for that, she was telling us that there's no way you could have just walked right up and gotten in this way. There's no way you could have gotten these pictures. I'm taking pictures of you now with the Parthenon clearly behind us. She said there'd be so many people behind you. You are in a perfect time of the year for visiting this place. We also got to see the changing of the guard, which is normally a very busy activity, which was busy. There was a lot of people, but not anywhere near what it would be if we were in high season.
They change the guard every hour, but on Sundays they do a
special ceremony where they have a march down the street and do the full pomp and circumstance for the occasion.
And really, especially not the spot that I picked, but the spot that Kevin had the good fortune to find, had nobody around. He had some really great unobstructed video.
Well, I also had arms way up in the air over the few people that were ahead of me, but yes, I didn't have to stand behind too many people.
The streets here are pretty narrow, but it's super convenient when there aren't a lot of people to be able to walk on the sidewalks unobstructed. And you're also fighting traffic and cars and motorcycles. So if you can stay on the sidewalks, it makes it a lot easier.
Right.
I can't even imagine how you would do that in the summer months when it's wall-to-wall people everywhere.
Especially the area that we were staying in. Our Airbnb is right near a little plot of restaurants and places you can hang out and have drinks. And that area, with low season, was, you were hard pressed to get through the tables and get to the next spot. And it felt a little hard to get through this time of year. I don't even know what it would be like. That whole square is probably continuously wall-to-wall people. It would not have been nearly as enjoyable. We got the big tables. We got to sit anywhere we wanted most of the time. There was restaurants asking us to come sit down.
Well, you're going to have that in every city, but even good restaurants, there wasn't really a wait.
Yeah, they were just ready for us. Do you want a table? Which table would you like? It's like a movie star.
Why?
Because they were just wanting me to come in and offering me any table I wanted.
What I put up with.
Gotta love me. As you can see, this is a lovely sunny day. And we are not wearing our jackets. Now, we started wearing them when we walked out of our Airbnb, but then the minute we started walking up the hills, we were hot. And right now, I'm quite comfortable in long sleeves. This is not the January that you want to avoid in some cities like maybe London or Paris. This is Athens January, which is pretty nice.
Right. I've worn a puffy jacket, which is a multi-season jacket. It's not only for super cold weather.
Right.
And I've been comfortable. I've taken it off multiple times throughout the trip. Generally speaking, I think the weather is really nice, especially when it's midday and the sun is out.
Yeah, and the rain has been very minimal. Like, we had some serious heavy rain showers.
4 times.
4 times. But the hail the last couple of days and the rain, serious stuff. But other than that, a scarf, a light jacket, we're good.
I haven't needed a scarf. And
I need a scarf.
You don't even have a heavy jacket.
I don't have a hood. I don't have a puffy jacket. I just have a little biking jacket. So the scarf is my savior.
And even on the couple of days that it hailed, it really wasn't so cold as it was just pounding rain.
Yeah.
But 4 days out of an entire month, I don't think that's a bad trade-off.
No, not at all.
One of the other perks is that we didn't have to worry about being too hot. So we didn't have to carry sunglasses or water or find shade in certain places, because places like the Acropolis don't really have shade. You're at the top of hills. And so it's really been convenient that we haven't had to worry about getting overheated.
Yeah, in the heavy hot seasons, I probably would have needed a hat because this is very, very mild coverage for the scalp.
When you are going to some of these famous ruins and there's entry fees, we've been able to get half price because of the off season.
Oh, yeah.
So budget-wise, that's actually been a really nice perk.
Yeah, and I didn't expect that to be that cheap anyway. Some of them were just €10, and then they say, oh yeah, it's off season, so it's €5. It's like, well, it's really, yeah, let's go in and see thousands of year old ruins and something from 10 BC, and yeah, I'll gladly pay €10 for that, for both of us.
Right.
Wait, we have a friend, which we see a lot in this place, the cats. The cats. We're in an area, any place that's open space, any agoras around here are owned by the cats. That just proved it to you. One popped up right behind us.
So what did we miss out on by coming to Greece in the off season?
Well, one thing was our daughter was interested in going to the Greek Isles, and if it was a high season and the beaches were definitely open and all the resorts or whatever else you want to find down there were open, we probably would have done it.
And she would have come with us.
Yeah, she would have come with us. And this time of year, we were kind of told that, yeah, they're kind of shut down right now. There's really no reason to go down there unless you just want to hang out on a very empty island.
The beaches here may be beautiful in the off season. We did not go and find out, but you may find that a lot of the activities tied to the beach areas aren't going to be available. In fact, for us, our next stop is going to be in Italy, and there is normally a ferry that goes between countries that's not available in the off season.
Yeah, we're going to try it out just to try every kind of transportation we could. It's a little slower to get between cities and countries, but it sounded great. We just couldn't book it. It was just not on the calendar.
So if you're looking for balmy nights with beautiful sea breezes, this may not be the time of year for you.
Yeah, if you're trying to sunbathe and just hang out in the heat of Athens, no, this is not the season.
But for visiting the city of Athens, we didn't really see that anything was closed.
No.
So we didn't really feel like we missed out on activities in the city proper by not being here in the summer.
Yeah, unlike other cities where they might close for a whole month, that wasn't the case here. There was every restaurant we wanted to go to was open. Everything was available. All we had was just fewer lines. So would we recommend coming to Athens in the low season?
Absolutely. Avoiding the crowds is, to me, one of the biggest perks. And we came to see the ruins, and the ruins are here 24/7. So there's no high or low season to see this exquisite beauty that the city has to offer.
Yeah, you're not dealing with a lot of ridiculous weather in this season, so that's not a negative either. I can't think of a negative in this season unless, like you said, you're coming for the heat.
Please consider subscribing and give us a like. Our next video is going to be more of Greece, so you don't want to miss it.
And if you want to find out more about our channel, go to findingginaMarie.com. Judy's journal's there. She talks a lot about the interesting things we do every day. And until next time.
Until next time. And you're definitely doing a lot of walking here. So the fact that we are able to take off our jackets, I don't know how hard it would be when it's really hot and you've got nothing more to be able to take off.
Yeah, you don't want to see this come off.
Really?
Really.
Where does he come up with this stuff? Tell me, please.
Comes in my head, it comes out my mouth.
Maybe not always.
Probably shouldn't.